What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 11. Picking up from where we left off at the Estella Opera House. So, before we get into this episode, there is one quest that we do need to make sure we take care of and actually get set up for a second. So, the first thing we're going to want to do from here is jump on over to Hotel Crocs. So, when we turned in the Croc supply box, there was the apple. I told you guys you would need that in about 2 chapters. You might as well, get it before time. It's only 1,000, just so you know you had it done. So, if you guys were farming to buy upgrade materials or the quartz that was there, get the apple. I put this off to the last second, so here we are. Plus, I did want to do this on camera so we can show you guys how it works. So going on over to Paul and Dina, and to make sure we get this. This is needed for a record. Don't have it, we're going to be missing out on trophies, so we got to have it. Is there anything else for selling? Not really. Well, I guess we can get half our stuff back. So now that we have that, we're going to be jumping on back and talking to Julian. So Julian was a quest we started last episode. I had a planned way to do it for the walkthrough. Then I had in my notes, I had like a little side note because there was actually more going on with the quest. So I did want to do further testing to make sure that we can get the most out of our playthrough. So pretty much what's happening here is you learn Julian was trying to find his wife. We found her. She's dead, but she ended up being a puppet. So he's going to ask us, do we believe a puppet could really love a human? So the best way to do this is to lie and say yes. Then he gives us the wedding ring. Then we can bring that to Paul and Dina because Paul and Dina has the same question as he loves the old woman at Hotel Crotch that's in the wheelchair. Now, like I said, we got to have that wedding ring for that. But if you tell him the truth, he kills himself because he gets all sad. However, if you take out the next boss and come back on his dead body, you'll get the bloody wedding ring. But the bloody wedding ring does nothing but still prove the point that a puppet cannot love a human. So there's more going on with it, but it doesn't get more accomplished than single player through. It doesn't really give us much of anything. So that being said, we're going to stick to the way we have it. However, we have one shot at this, so I did believe further testing would have been smart and beneficial, and
Oh
so
man,
that's
he's
what
so
we did,
others
just to be
laughed at me,
sure
baby.
that
I'm
we are
crazy,
making the right
baby.
choice. So right here, I saw a message she left saying she loves you. So he's
She
wondering if a
was
puppet
even.
could really love a human, and
I'm
doing that is
pleased.
the only way you can get this gesture, sad gesture, and then the wedding ring. So this wedding ring is, going to be a quest item for later on. We got to make sure we have it. So now that all that is done, we can jump back to the Opera House entrance. And we are going to want to briefly go over our loadout. You're going to be running into a new status called Disruption. Disruption's very much like a curse from Dark Souls or Deathblade from Elden Ring. So no matter what your health is, if this status bar goes up, you're just dead. That's all there is to it. So we were talking about this earlier, but you have your regular resistance and then your special resistance ampule, then your special resistance purification right over here. That's what we're going to want heading into this next area. Now, as soon as we get here, we're going to turn around, pick up that. We'll have an item on the bench. Now, this is actually a really, really neat area. I think you guys are going to like it a lot. The boss is another matter entirely, but the area itself is really neat. There's a Trinity door here. There's other hidden paths and secrets, and just a lot of really, really cool stuff going on. We get that item much later. Just double checking something. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so we are good to go. So when you go in here, there's like these puppets, they're almost like spiders. Um, you won't see them immediately. Like really big puppets that are on like spider legs. Well, they do a scream which builds up disruption, but they also control. There's a little girl puppet you see that usually have a lot of health and big pain in the ass. So if you could pull them away from the big puppet, they don't have the buff. But if she's near, they're going to build up disruption. But on top of that, they have a lot of health. It just takes forever to put them down. So when we go here, the first thing we want to do is go to the left side. Try to get this knocked out first. Usually, yep, there she is. You see how they got disruption, they're building that up. And then on top of that, they also have a lot more health. So that's what I was kind of saying. Yeah, I know it. Yeah, we're about dead. I told you, it's no joke, dude. It's no fucking joke. Oh, I'm just wasting shit now. Okay. Keep your distance, if possible. Like I said, it's pretty darn difficult. So from here, we're going to go on up. And the bitches gave us all that grief is right here. So she has like a slam attack she can do with the front leg. That's bad. Then obviously, like I said, she'll build up herself with the scream that she's doing. Right? With the scream she's doing. There you go. Now, I guess you could just ignore the little girls and just run straight for her if you want. That might be the better way to do it, but you can't always do that, is the thing. So for the most part, this is a dead end path, and you can actually farm them for Dark Moon, Moonstone, the Covenant. It's a rare drop, but they can drop it. So if you're trying to stack those up, like right now, we're one short from getting up to +3. So some, just something to consider if you guys want to try to get your weapon up a little bit. All right, so going on from here. Back up. It's just you got like a little slam down attack. So I only need a little bit more to get my special off. There it is. That shit didn't hurt a little bit, right? Look at that. Now we got that fair fight. That's why I recommend that weapon, guys. It just has some really nice options to try to make life a little bit easier. So as you see, Dark Moon, Moonstone, the Covenant. That's not guaranteed. They have a chance to drop those. So if you want to stay here and farm, I mean, depending on how long you want to farm from, you could get a few weapons up to +3 if you actually put in the time to do so. You'd need like 6 of them, but still, it's definitely an option. So either way, did we get the item on the side? Yep, we're good. So we can head on down. And you see this little room on the left. It's going to get you a pretty nice ring, depending on your build. So there are a set amount of rings in this game for different damage types. It gives you like 3 stats. So that's for technique. I want to see if it's 3 or 5. I think it's 4. I think it's 4 actually. Where are you? Is that it? Yeah, technique, amulet, +4 to technique. So there's a few options like that for your guys' builds. I mean, it's a few levels, right? It'll save you from having to spec into that for a little bit, just to pump up your damage a tiny bit if you want to focus on health or whatever the case may be. Thank you. Another new enemy type. He's not too bad. I hate to call him a he, he's wearing a dress, but he is a he at the end of the day. And if you could just stay on charged heavy, stay aggressive, you can put him down fairly easy. Exploding pickaxe. That is what the when we were trying to head up the big lift, was it like chapter 3 or 4, and we used the Stalker's Greeting, and that lady led us on the tram. I said if she invades you, that's the weapon she's using. It's actually a phenomenal motility weapon. Exploding pickaxe. I love the art on it. It works for quality too, but not bad. Could be better. Could be worse. Weapon art's really cool. I don't want to waste shit to show you, but I guess we can. So big explosion, and then you buff your weapon with fire. So like I said, it's got some pretty cool stuff going on, guys. Pretty cool stuff. It's not upgraded. We're not going to use it. So a little bit of lore. You guys want to check that out. Then we're really just going to be closing off this path. This we'll get here in a bit. So when you first came in, you'd notice there's 2 paths. We went to the left first, but then you could also go to the right. So you could get to the boss from here, which we're obviously not going to do yet, but that is right on over there. So what we want to do from here is go ahead and clear our other path. Now I only have 4 heals. I'm going to be pushing my luck. I want to try to do something different. This is not how I did it on my notes, but let's see. Because I told you, you might be able to just ignore the smaller enemies and go straight for her. Let's see if that does us any favors. Can we knock her out of it? Nope. She's about to kill us. Alright, we're out of it. Thank you. Alright, so now they have lost that buff. I mean, it's actually pretty simple, but I figured if we can't get to her quick enough, they might, just all corner us, and that's not doing anyone any favors, but it seemed to work out quite nicely. So, I'll take it. Now, we're going to go and backtrack, make sure we get all of our items. Potential drops, whatever the case may be. This is the only guaranteed item, which is right here. Dark Moon Moonstone of the Covenant. That Dark Moon is guaranteed. The other ones were not. They're potential drops. Once again, you can farm if you want, but you're not guaranteed to get any from killing these enemies here, guys. Give it ergo. Then we can go on in. So we're going to go over here to the right hand side. Next part. And then we have a quest to start right over here. So what's going to happen is we picked up the apple. This is a singer. She lost her voice. She says the apple's help. We give her the apple, take out the boss, come back. There's going to be a record like right on the table waiting for us. Once again, we need for a platinum trophy. So just go over dialogue.
I'm parched.
Give apple.
I can't Shadalina. I know it's wrong.
And just make sure that you are actually fully exhausted on all of her dialogue. Now from here, there's really only one path left before the boss. So what we're gonna do, and you could miss it entirely if you're not really looking, but if you go over here and you actually head straight for the boss, you're gonna see the chandelier. So instead of going for it, we're gonna drop. This Trinity door comes later. We have to work our way to the key first. Over here, that's where we popped our chest for that technique ring, just so you guys know where you are. Then we can head out this way. Like I said, they do pretty well with hiding stuff, because I wouldn't have thought to drop down there, On my first playthrough. I may have thought of it, but looking at it, I'm surprised I did, if that was the case, because, I don't know, I guess it's just your mind, how you're used to looking at things. I don't typically think to drop in holes. Not usually. Stop it. Alright, you little shit. Make me waste my good stuff on you. Shoot. Now this is something really important. That's why you want to do these paths, so you get these upgrades for your shops, because that's exactly what that is. So, Incredible Venini Collection. That's not a cross supply box. This is for the butler of Venini. Like I said, 2 merchants. You need to upgrade both of them to get all of the items, right? So that is going to be for the butler, not Paul and Dina. So this is, with that you get both shops upgraded at least once. And he always gets pretty good stuff. It's typically more unique than what Paul and Dina gets, like special grindstone, stuff like that. Come on, stunlock him, her, him, he, him, her, dude, whatever you want to call him. It's weird, but he's got like his, I can't tell. It's got women hair and male hair, male face, women clothes. It's got me lost. I don't know what the hell it is. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Not good. Trying to get away from them. I guess we're playing the long game here. You just hit her? Thank you. God, you're a bitch. Yeah, they're really annoying. And if I had just like a bunch of our consumables to keep building up our focus, I would just keep popping those and hitting them with the special art. It's quite annoying. It just takes so much to put them down. So much to put them down. Alright, guys. So once we get here, it's actually a really sneaky item. Super fucking easy to miss. So you don't want to take the ladder just yet. Yeah, it does not feel good. Tell me it didn't respawn some of it. There's two enemies here. I was hoping it did not spawn in yet. Simply because we still have to go back up the ladder. Yep, we missed it anyways. I should just wait. We're just gonna have to rest and come back down. We had to do this anyways, so what we're gonna do is work this way. Pop your shortcut. I hate when things don't light up the way I want them to. That way, you know, you can just jump back and we'll run back for your butterfly again. However, like I said, you have to go back up this ladder. There's a chest you missed. In fact, you could run right past it. It's so fucking easy to run right past. You see that? So you come in here, you don't see it, you grab that item, drop down. Now, for whatever reason, I kept thinking the ladder was, like, in between over on these, you know, platforms, but as I said, it's really easy to miss. Let's go back up and confirm. I knew it was here. I just forgot which spot exactly. But this is really important, guys. Gotta have it. Gotta have this. Now, obviously, you know, when the time comes, we will go ahead and solve that. Alright, so now we got our shortcut. We'll run on out, rest, grab a level, get our butterfly, then we're going to go for the boss. You know, that's it. That's it. Not a big area. We did, you know, get everything here, so that's going to be really nice. And it's all done. Because, you know, you got to think, now we have upgrades to get and, you know, other things. I want to just grab this butterfly, then we'll go to Krot. So that's the plan. I want to, you know, we're going to do the boss, but I want to make sure we get you guys upgrades for your weapons and everything else. What are you guys doing? Seriously. Thank you. Come on, butterfly. Did we end up getting it when we were fighting? We may have ended up killing it. I'm just a big old dummy, apparently. Oh well, better be safe than sorry. So either way, guys, let's jump on over to Hotel Krot. Like I said, this boss is extraordinarily challenging. So with that, we have picked up enough materials to get you guys to a +3 boss weapon. Only gets a +5. That's going to be really helpful. On top of that, we have a supply box, the Vanini collection. We can turn that in and get you other items, usually liners, you know, things of that nature. So definitely gonna be worth our time to at least briefly stop here. So first things first, let's go ahead.
You know that's wow. I haven't. I'm.
She's talking about Alidora.
You're
We'll get
not
into
my
that quest later. Just for now, exhausted
I
dialogue.
suppose my.
About chapter 7, we get heavily into that quest. That's where I'm gonna break it down. That's when it makes sense. So now you're gonna notice that you are at +3. Now to get to +4 and to max out, you need the full Moonstone of the Covenant. Now, these items are exceptionally rare. Exceptionally rare. So with that being said, you max out one weapon if you want. Usually I won't even like to even go past +4. I might just spend like one of those to get one weapon to +4. That way I'm saving my resources for the DLC. But like I said, you know, for the walk through the base game, we're going to suggest, you know, we're going to take you guys through it all. Then we're going to suggest a very brief run through New Game Plus. That way we can get the rest of our records and, you know, get our platinum wrapped up. But we can also get a lot of upgrade materials. It's not going to take long. You know, we're just going to rush through. That way when we do take you guys to the DLC, we're all going to have plenty of levels. We'll have access to every single weapon and ring in the game because of 2 playthroughs. We're able to get everything. And we'll have everything at your disposal, everything at your advantage to make life easier, as the DLC is very, you know, very, very difficult, and the better we're set up, you know, the more successful we'll be. If you guys don't care about having a bunch of levels, you don't care about having your weapon, multiple weapons being able to be upgraded or best items, then go on over. I think it's best to be patient because we can do New Game Plus like 2 hours here. You know, we don't have to do the whole game, just what we need to do. So that's really up to you guys. But that would just be my recommendation. Go through his dialogue while we're here. Who we really need to talk to is him, but we haven't touched in with him in a minute. Had to shop goods. You always get rewards for this too, because it's part of the quest line. So now you see you have weapon here, you got a new ring here, you got new liners. You got new grindstones. You got more handles. So a lot of stuff here. Really nice to have. So we are going to pick this up at some point. 1300 of 16. I don't think that's what I want. But you got this for acid. This is kind of cool. Temporarily enhances guard performance, so it helps you parry. Right. So if you're struggling, it's really really nice to have. I will say that you are still gonna have to be decent, and it only works while you're buff. So it's not gonna help all the time. Just in those scenarios, it can be helpful. So we're gonna pick all this up one point or another. I'll probably just wait. But if you guys want to pick up something, this actually has critical rate on it at 30%, meaning like every few hits, it's like blood loss in your typical games. It's really, really nice. But regardless, it's neat done. If you guys see anything there that you want to try to get some kind of benefit for this next fight, do it. This fight's hard. Alright guys, without anything else, we're ready to hop on over. Alright, so this is Romeo. There's actually crazy lore. You know what's crazy too? When we get to the DLC, that's when you're getting to really understand the story of the game. And the story of the characters in the game. Like who Romeo really is. Who the legendary stalker really is. Who we really are. And there's more characters too, but I would end up spoiling something. So I'm not going to do it. Alright, so this is two-phase boss fight. Phase 1's so hard to explain. Phase 1, pretty much imagine the boss is a puppet, same size as us, but he's in the body of a gigantic puppet. So this guy's like 15 foot tall. It's like this really, really big bot. So his arms could like flail around every which way. They're like have fans on the end. So he's going to spin his waist around like 360, do a slam down, spin his waist around 3. This always comes twice. He can create these big fans that blow you back and do this big explosion. He can kind of stomp at you. We're going to summon. We're going to have distractions for it. Knowing when to keep your distance and when to get in is going to do you the most benefit here. But the problem with Liza P and trying to break down the boss fight, some of it, I just don't know how to put in words because of what you're seeing. Just imagine a really big guy. And like I said, he's a robot, so his waist can spin 360. So he's got to do that to like an overhead slam. This usually comes 2 to 3 times. Just get ready to deflect. You have very small windows for damage, so 1 hit, maybe 2. Don't get greedy. Aside from this, his arms can just kind of flail around all over the place. When he does that, try to get behind him for a charged heavy attack if possible. You have your throwables, you have your buffs. The rest will go over live. Phase 2, you're fighting a regular puppet like you, but he has a pole arm which he's going to buff with fire. Now, he just likes to jump around. He has a crazy fucking combo. He's got like 10 hits. He's like, pop, 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 pop. Try to do your best maybe just to block through it if you can't get the timing. Let it play out. Then eventually your summon will piss him off enough to catch his aggro. We can come behind, do charge heavy. So a lot of this you guys are just going to see live. Because like I said, it's very, 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 very hard to actually break it down in words. What you're actually seeing on the screen. If you pay attention to this play, it's telling you what's really going on in the story. Whether you pick up on it or not, that's something else. If you pay close attention, it's telling you all you need to know. So that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm talking about. So inside is a puppet our size. That's like the real boss. This is, the machine he's using. So his arms are almost like slinkies. That's one way you could try to describe it. So like I said, he can kind of flail around and turn them into these really big fans and do this big explosion. There's just a bunch of stuff that goes on. So we're just going to, kind of show you live, like I said. Let's get on in and we'll show you how it goes. So typically he always comes in with a spin slam attack. So don't see him do it. Yeah, that's the other thing. He's trying to like reset itself. So when he does that, he sets his arms down really quick. So slam, down. You see that? Usually comes a few times. It doesn't have the most health. But it doesn't have any windows either. You know, when you're trying to get up damage, there's not many windows. He did fall up. Such a fucking delay. Don't do it. Thank you. There's the slinky arm. Back up. Try to get that heal. They almost like turns into fans. And you can't hit you from behind there too, guys. There's the fan. Get back. That's a big burst. It's not like an explosion, it's just like a big AoE burst. As long as our summons tying him down, you're gonna put him, you know, you're gonna put him down, you're gonna get the damage out. Like I said, it's really hard to get to. He does not leave windows, man. He does not leave windows. With that being said, as long as our summon distracts him, every time we do a full charge heavy, you're doing 15% of his health every attack. You get 20% of his health almost every attack, so it does help. So this is Romeo. Romeo is using like a pole arm with a hook on it, so he can pull you in and really hurt you bad. He does like a spinning whirlwind. We're just like spinning in the air, slashing with his pole arm. So that's going to be a multi-deflect. Try to, even though you can't really dodge well in this game, dodging did help in this fight. If you can get it right, you know, if you can get it right. Now see who he goes for first. Us. Yes, as I said, there's a lot of damage, guys. Spinning attacks. And even though our summons here, he seems to only care about us. Yep, full. He can hit behind you too. Oh, we're fucked. Really gotta hurry. There's the fire. There's the whirlwind. Keep him tied down for us, though. Try to heal. This might not be our go here, guys. Run. Yeah, it's a fire combo. Like I said, just try to dodge through it. It's a lot, I know. Stick with it. Like I said, don't believe this is our time to shine. Come on, distract him enough, buddy, please. There you go. So, really difficult. When you see that whirlwind, dodge to the side. That's the big one because like wop, 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 wop. And I've never really figured out the timing, but that's what works for me. Get to the side, use those heals, keep them distracted. That's all we really did through both phases. Where we got our most damage, our summon distracted while we got behind. Wop, wop. First guy's so big, even if you're behind him, he can still hit you. And his moveset's so wide, even if you're behind, he can still hit you. But that's what we did, you know, and that's what worked. So, like I always say, if we didn't do a good enough description, because I feel like maybe I could have described that better, I just couldn't find the words. But, you know, it is a YouTube video. You guys could go back, watch it, watch what worked for me, see if that's going to work for you. You know, that's the best way I can explain it. So from here, it's probably just going to be easier to backtrack this way. Yeah, it should be much easier. Run, 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 run. It's a longer run that way, isn't it? Oh, well, it's right up here. You guys remember. Go to the right. Oh, no, you can fight her if you want. We don't care about that. What we care is to go in here and go get a record. Is that after the boss, you can go on back and get your reward. And there you go. Destination. So now we have that. We can jump on over to Hotel Kront. Now we're right at 30 minutes. We still have our cryptic vessel. So, kind of like to do these as we get them. I mean, we could say, I mean, you don't have to do them right away. Let that be known. You do not have to do these right away. I like to. Most of them don't really take long. So first things first, we can go see Eladoro for a new boss weapon. So that little hook blade the boss was using, we get access to it. Alright, so right here, she's just kind of looking at the picture, reminiscing, and she wants to know. We'll go over that. Just say, of course. So what's happening here is she's seeing how she used to be so young and pretty and full of life, and obviously she has a petrification disease. You can see it on her cheek there. And she wants to know if you still see some beauty left in her. That's why it's like, there's nothing left, or it's still there. So that's, you know, just part of her quest, guys, which we'll get into later on. So now we have that out of the way. We can go talk to Eladoro and either get a ring or a weapon. So the new rings right here, all Legion Arms ability tier +1. So you don't have to have it fully upgraded to get that, you know, that last, the ability attached to it. So, I mean, it's okay. This is a lot cooler quality. So, but B technique, C motivity, still quality. So it's pretty nice. The weapon art extends the hook out by like a rope, so it almost works like a whip, where you do this huge spin slash and you can reach enemies quite far away. It's pretty dope, pretty dope. I would definitely get it and check it out, see if it's for you. Now, aside from that, we're gonna go on over here.
I knew we're all me as well.
Progress with her dialogue, just, you know, typical things. That's 23. Paladina has left you a note, and he's telling you that he is in the garden. So if you go out the first door that we used way back at the start, he's over here. Now, since we did what's his name? What, Adrian? Oh no, it was in last episode. The wedding ring. Since we got the, was it Elijah or something like that? But since we got the wedding ring, when you talk to him, he's gonna ask you if you believe a puppet could love a human.
Can a puppet?
Can a puppet fall in love? There's no such puppet. Show the wedding ring.
I feel I have no.
Gemini's protection will be a reward. More importantly, it gets us humanity, pushing us towards that ending. That's what I tell people. There's no such thing as a truth run or a live run. It's humanity or it's not humanity, right? That's what it's about. That is all it's about. So if you have enough humanity, you're going to get what most consider to be the good ending. If not, there's 2 other endings, and we'll cover that. But that, you know, that's what we're aiming for the walkthrough, because that's what you're going to want to do. Aside from that, we're going to go decipher our codex.
I fear. I always. No trouble. If you haven't.
Drooled cryptic vessel as always. Vessel as always. What you're going to do, check the ground at the end of the cliff across Central Station. So this is way back at the start of the game. This one's pretty weird. Oh wait, we have to put on the gesture. Hold on a second, guys, because we have to put on the gesture for this. What the hell? Extra bag, gesture, and you should see check ground. This gesture is very important. So, teleport, we're going to go all the way back to chapter 1. The alley would probably be the quickest way. So this was like right down by the river. I didn't show this off then because it was just so far away in the walkthrough of the series, it didn't really matter. But we just got to go use this gesture at a certain location, get rewards. Same, you know. Just like the other cryptic vessels, very cryptic. You know what I mean? Just stuff you kind of play around with and find, add more to the game, you know. Usually you're going to get quartz. This time we're going to get something different. which is something we still really, really, really want. Alrighty. So if you backtrack, you can go this way, go to the right. Follow this around, go all the way down here, and you need, it's a really finicky spot. You gotta be really, really cautious where you use it. But it's right around this barrel right here on the far right hand side. But like I said, it seems to be really inconsistent. There it is. So you see what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really odd. And that, you got the Atoned Apparel, so now we can go ahead and jump on out. And there's one more little side quest to do. So, when we were trying to head up to the cathedral, there was that enemy where I said we could use the Stalker's Greeting, or you could fight her and use the Stalker's Greeting, because that's part of the quest. We'll have to come back later, you know, and put her down. This is when I want to do it, because that Atone set, that's part of her set, so that's why I wanted to put it in this episode, as it makes the most sense. So from here, what would be the closest? I guess Moonlight Time would be the closest. Yeah. Because everything else is uphill. So as mentioned, you know, we are going to have to run all the way through. Now, this is not something that's needed. It's just like more to the game. Like I said, since we got part of the Atone set, it makes sense to do it now. You guys can do it later. You don't have to do it at all. Just get you a helm. But, you know, it's 100% walkthrough, guys, so I'm going to cover it, but it's not like trophy related or, you know, anything like that. Not even really quest line related. We've already done everything needed for the quest. So, this lady uses acid. She does like this weird punch that builds up acid on you if you're not cautious. Aside from that, she has the exploding pickaxe. Our moveset is kind of odd at times, but shouldn't give you too much grief. Like I said, she just attacks you. She said she's saying she fell for a puppet's trick because we used the Stalker's Greeting before. So like I said, as soon as she comes back down again, she will get right into this fight. Yeah, there's the punch. God, our charge heavy takes so fucking long. Oh, what the hell, lady? You had the white bar in your health. Thank you. So there you go. The Atone mask. Now you got the whole Atone set. That's what I said. You know, it does make sense to do it that way. Alrighty. So we got the boss weapon. We did the Cryptic Vessel. We took out the Atone. We got the mask. We did the quest of Apollodeena. We've done all quest progression as far as NPCs. So, you know, we are all wrapped up at this point. So, another good thing is that did give us a level for our time. Yep, house stage. That will set us up for next episode. But good news is, you know, we have everything done up to this point, and that's what I'm saying every episode. Once we start getting access to these quests or to these vessels or whatever it is, we want to make sure it's all done. You know, otherwise we get to the end of the game, we're like, oh, we're missing 12 different things. We got to figure it all out. Much easier to do. You don't have to worry about it. It's done. That's how you miss things. That's how you mess up trophies. So we're not taking the chance. So either way, guys, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap on up. Next episode, we're going to be back dealing with, well, not immediately. We'll deal with puppets, but back to the petrification disease. And we're going to be heading to an area called the Arcade, which I think you guys are really, really going to enjoy. You'll see what I mean. But either way, we are going to wrap up here. You guys stay tuned. We'll catch you back here shortly.